Hey y'all.
We are on live. Oh gosh, we'll get the kids to be quiet.
They are in the living room playing. Hey, our cabin in the woods. How are y'all? We had a really good live last week. She's Gone Country Farms. Hello. We had a really good live week last week that was coming off of our trip from HOA and Washington, which is really fun. So we got to talk about that a lot last week. So that was a really good live. We got to do several things that, hey, Heather. Hey, Miss Paula Joe. A lot of people popping on here. But so last week we got to talk about DC and a lot of things that we got to do at DC. Sampson's Farm. Hey, single man. How are you? So we got to talk about a lot of the things that we got to do in Washington. Visit the White House. Arlington was an awesome experience. Also, we went to Mount Vernon, where Washington's house is, and that was a really, really cool experience too. For a homesteader, that's where you need to go for sure. And things that we liked about HOA and things that we thought maybe would be more beneficial if like some community time was plugged in there, we thought would be cool. But this week we've got a whole lot of stuff going on.
It's been a crazy week. We actually have done more than I think we thought we would. Just coming off that trip, we were trying to get caught up, and I think we actually got caught up and actually a little bit ahead. But it's been a fun week.
Mm-hmm.
Where y'all start?
Well, our raised beds look great.
Yeah, our raised bed look really good. They're starting. You know how if you looked in our video, how I was saying they were leggy or how they were kind of laid over a little bit. Seemed like they kind of grew a little bit more than their root system could hold. But now they have really done well. We've had some cool weather. We had one day of warmth, but the rest have been cool. We've had little showers. So it has been really good for our raised beds. And it's been cool enough to not cause damage. We do have road covers if it looks like it's on frost, but right now, Mississippi is not a typical time to have frost.
Little Mountain Life.
Hey, Little Mountain Life.
Lost power. That's not good.
No, that
Hope y'all didn't have bad weather.
I saw your picture today, Little Mountain Life, on I think Instagram or Facebook, how the mountains are starting to change color. So that's
Stepping
beautiful.
back in time, Kentucky. It's good to have you here. Hey, Grammy Karen.
Well, we will see y'all in just a few. Was it a week? Oh, about a week and a half.
Yeah, not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yeah, Little Mountain Life. Your picture was pretty today, though, that you put on. Again, I don't know what social media platform it was, but the fall foliage was gorgeous. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, they get better. I think we're actually coming up that way again in about a week and a half. So
not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yeah, we're excited about it. So, but yes, our raised beds are looking good. Our hugelculture beds are the ones that we thoroughly, are really planted. We do have some potatoes and asparagus, and Misty planted some more carrots and some of the other raised beds. We've done some updates, but we have not done actual video on our carrots, have we? I don't think we've done one on this year's carrots.
So I did direct sow some seeds. I did not check to see if those are sprouting yet, though.
I didn't check.
But all the stuff in the garden is sprouting.
Our video coming. Not the next 2 days. The weekend video or Monday's video will have.
Show that.
And we just planted that, and man, it's
Facebook.
They
don't do Instagram yet, so that's where you saw
that.
Okay,
yeah, Facebook. So
we'll take care of that baby. Baby comes first. So yeah, everything in the garden is sprouting, looks amazing. All of our fall stuff, peas still look great. The raised beds, like we said, they're really starting to take off, and everything's starting to really stand up and really start to show life. Now, I did have to put some seeds in there
for the broccoli.
And the broccoli spots that just didn't take real well. We noticed that maybe the next day I did that. Mm-hmm. And just while we were gone, I don't think that they were quite getting enough water as they should. They should have been getting.
But actually, those sproutlets are coming up just as good as some of the other stuff.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. They really are. They look. I checked them today, and they're probably 1/4 of an inch tall.
Now, I
so
know a lot of-
they're starting to look really
I
good.
know a lot of y'all are not from deep south, but we're growing pink eye purple hull and Mississippi pink eye still, which is, I mean, it's really more of a spring or early fall pea. They're starting to just have little bloom, so I'm hoping we'll get a crop out before our first freeze. But is anyone growing anything that's unusual for this time of year in your areas? We're going pumpkins. Pumpkins. We did potatoes. This was the first time we've done fall potatoes, so
and they look
great. But again, we're trying to beat the frost on potatoes. They're a little bit longer to take, so we are hoping that they will come on up, bloom, so we could maybe get some potatoes off that. But what are y'all planning anything crazy like that? Or are y'all just doing your typical fall, or what are y'all doing?
Now we're trying an experiment that will maybe have a video on.
Yeah.
We're gonna see how it works.
We're trying to do some volunteer stuff, a little bit more volunteer stuff.
Yeah, just our goals has really been try to use what you have. If you're hatching your eggs out and you keep that cycle going, or if you're saving your own seeds, it's continuing with what you have.
And I've been on this kick lately. Of course, I mean, I watched a lot of homesteaders, but I've been on this kick to watch minimalists lately and see real true foraging and real minimalist tactics. And it makes us look like we're, I would consider us homesteaders or farmers, but it makes us look like, man, we still are overdoing what they're doing. So it blows my mind to see we're extreme to some people, but then there's also another extreme to us. And so we've been watching people like Rob Greenfield and some of those learning how to forage better. So I've really enjoyed watching those videos lately because that's things I want to try. We're trying to really build our food forest up, and we did that with the elderberry. If you've seen videos of the elderberry, that was really food foraging. But we're going to really try to do that. Misty tried to raise some moringa last year, and the weather got to it. So we're going to try to raise some moringa this year. I've been looking on researching some other cool foraging plants. So we're gonna have some videos on that coming up soon. We did find some passion fruit. We need to go check on those again.
Yeah, well, I drove back there not long ago and I couldn't find them.
Oh, man.
Because it looked like the weeds had grew up so much over them. I couldn't find the little balls.
Stepping back in time, Kentucky. Overlook Valley Homestead. I've been on a kick too to try to do more ginger, do more turmeric. I've been watching. They've been doing a lot of roots like that. We've just never grown that.
We've never tried it.
We're really wanting to, of course, grow. I think we've tried vegetables and love doing vegetables, but I'm really starting to get on this kick of trying to do medicinal style herbs and medicinal style healthier options, such as ginger, such as things like that. Like moringa and katuk and things that I've never even heard of that we're starting to really research. So I'm excited about that. That's just a new venture that we're looking at to do, along with our farmstead and home, but to be able to do something more medicinal along the lines of the elderberry that we're already foraging. So I'm really excited about that.
And our garlic looked good when I
it's starting to look really good. It's starting to really come up.
So,
and that was a volunteer basically because they were bought garlic. We let them sit out too long. They started sprouting, so we took advantage of it. So,
and they may not amount to anything, but we're gonna try it.
Stepping back in time, Kentucky, we're really trying to get on that kick a little bit more. We do elderberry syrup thoroughly, and of course it has ginger in it and a lot of things with cinnamon and honey, and so we raise parts of that anyway with the honey and the bees, but we really want to get into that kind of stuff a little bit more, or I do. I mean, I heard I watched somebody growing turmeric today, and I thought that was the coolest thing. So let's see, moringa does not tolerate frost. I agree. I think single man or Eli, I think I'm gonna try to I read today that if you grow moringa and if you learn to take cuttings and harvest it while it's small and it's not woody stalked, almost like an herb like Misty does with the basil, I read that it's better for you. It tastes better, raw or cooked or powdered, which is what most people do. And we have a really nice greenhouse. So I'm thinking about, and I'll have a video, you'll see Misty's your aloe, and you'll see
Thank you for dropping in.
I mean, we have oranges growing and lemons growing in Mississippi. So I believe that we can tackle moringa and maybe do it strictly in our greenhouse and then pull it out like we do our basil and things like that for summer. So we're going to try it. I think last year that's what we didn't do. We did not put it up. We had it in pots that were way too big.
Well,
and we couldn't figure out how to get them in the greenhouses, and we really didn't know much about it.
Yeah,
So
well, I
we're gonna
had
try to
Miss
do that.
Patty Alderman from Alderman Farms, and if y'all are not familiar with their YouTube channel, y'all can check them out. But she actually went to HOA. I think it was, I guess it would have been 2 years ago, and she said she had way too many seeds. So she shared some with me, and I planted them, and they grew to like probably 2 or 3 feet tall, and I just didn't get them in the greenhouse. Like the frost comes so fast, and I just didn't get them put up. And like that's all it took was the coldness come in and set overnight. And then when I went and checked on them, they were not. Not
See, in the
good.
moringa that we've been watching Pete Canaris and some of the guys from Florida. So you're right; it has to be in more of a subtropical climate. Which Mississippi, deep South Mississippi, we are considered a subtropical climate, even though we're not tropical by any means. That's the climate zone that we're in. So I think if we utilize the greenhouse a little bit better, I really think we'll be okay on that. So
thank you, Grammy Karen. Now, Steffi McIntyre in Kentucky said that they have managed to dodge frost so far. They still have tomatoes, zucchini, green beans, pumpkins. That's amazing. All of our stuff, our summers are so brutal that we have a very short season because it gets so hot. Spring things pretty much grow. Early summer, they kind of grow and produce. And then by late summer, the heat has pretty much killed everything. And really, it doesn't matter how much you water. It's like the heat just, then it's done.
And see, I think that's for us, we have to really learn. And I heard another, one of the guys we watched as a mentor in our area, he was talking about how a typical spring garden for most, for people like in subtropical or deep south, may be a better fall garden for most. So for us, where our squash and zucchini and all that did really good early on, but struggled in that late June, early July, early August.
July and August.
So
really.
I think we're going to try to maneuver into no summer planting and do succession planting, of course, in early spring through our greenhouse, and of course coming out with potato season, garlic season, onion season. And try to hit some of those earlier squash and things like that, but then maybe have a dead period from June, July to August, because the only thing that can tolerate it in this area seems to be peas, like our pink eye purple hull. That's the only thing that seems like it tolerates it okay. But everything else, like our cucumbers, our fall cucumbers, they actually did good. But even in August, it was so hot that they would thrive, and then all of a sudden, one big heat for that day, it's like crazy. Yes, Little Mountain Life, we do microgreens. We actually just talked about doing more seeds when we did the soul.
We actually have a YouTube video out on that, and that batch that we showed was amazing.
It was a great batch. Actually,
Colby ate and ate and ate off of that.
I make myself sick, and what we like, I like wheatgrass. We grind it up fine, but what I've enjoyed the most, I like broccoli and pea sprouts. That's probably my favorite, and we put them on salads and things like that. And I like the hot greens. I forgot what they're called, but we order them offline. They're organic.
Now we got from one company that was not good. And if you're interested in that,
hey, Salon Girl,
Little Mountain Life, I can tell you the company not to buy from.
We don't want to say it on here, but we will message you.
Well, I can't even remember the company.
I remember it, but we'll have.
But if you want to know,
email or message us, and I'll tell you what not to buy.
Yeah, those grew up, or let me go back. Some germinated and some did not. The ones that did germinate, molded and mildewed like that.
Now,
so that kind of let me know. I don't think any of their seed was good.
Little Mountain Life, we do buy one good seed that we have continued buying, and it is very good seed. And it just holler at me, and what we can do is tell you exactly who we're using.
And it's really easy
really
to
good.
do.
My favorite, again, we grow a lot of. We bought big bags of wheat, so I have wheat to last us for a long time. But I like the wheatgrass, but my favorite by far microgreens is probably pea sprouts and broccoli sprouts and the little mini greens.
Pea sprouts. Even I had one of our girls.
Yeah, our little baby, our younger girl.
Them.
But she's the one that likes sushi. She's the one that likes different things like I do. So she'll kind of try anything. So she likes salads. So she was eating those pretty well. She really liked those. But we need to put an updated video on that and do some more sprouting. We talked about when we did our soul blocks, we were like, oh, we're going to start back on our microgreens, but we just have not done that just because I guess just so many other things going on. Microgreens are something that you can grow inside and make good money on them. Little Mountain Life, I don't know if you've got a market for it, but anytime you have a kind of farm to table kind of restaurants around, they'll tend to use you as a proprietor for sure.
Yep.
So.
And heard great things about the micro broccoli. That was one of your favorites too.
That was my micro broccoli was good for me too. I mean, it's a more robust taste of kind of like broccoli raw or like a stem broccoli. I liked it, but I mean, you have to like broccoli. You have to like something that's got a little bit more bite to it. Microgreens packs all those nutrients and all that flavor in that one little piece. So it definitely is. I mean, it's like there's one we get called a spicy green, and when I say it's a spicy green, it's an understatement. I mean, it'll blow your socks off, and I like
he
hot.
Said it was very,
but
very
I mean,
stout.
it makes you. I mean, it gives you flame in your mouth. So
Miss Paula Jo said she's got 1 acorn squash. No idea where it came from, but it's huge, and they're eating it tomorrow. Hey, anything that's voluntary is the best to me because you don't do any of the work. It just comes and grows, and you get the benefits.
Hey, Deanna, how are you?
Awesome.
I agree. I think June through September seems to be a struggling time for us. Now, I mean, not everything, but if you have something that is dainty, like cucumbers and things like that, they just tend to not do it well. I agree with you, Eli. We had one company that we've used that's been excellent, and then we've had one company that's just really all their seed. At first, I thought it was me. I said, well, maybe I'm doing something wrong, and then, I mean, because I'm not this expert microgreen grower, but we've grown them. But we tried those seed and they just flopped. And then we tried different soil with those seeds. They still flopped. Yeah. Then we tried a whole different way of growing them just because I thought, well, maybe we're just doing.
And we had soaked some in water.
Yeah, we've done all that.
Then we didn't soak them in water, and they still didn't do it.
And so now with the other seed though, like I said, we've done it both ways, and they've both have been great.
Deanna said, in West Central Florida, we pretty much don't have anything in the garden late June through early September. It's pretty much the same way here. Yes, absolutely. I will say that I was out doing my herbs the other day, and it's like my basil. A lot of my herbs struggled so bad this year, but it's like now, man, they are like booming. So I come in with a huge harvest the other day.
Making lemonade from lemons.
And I was very excited about that.
Wait till you see this new video though of
it just gets too hot.
Missy's aloe. And we hit on it. Misty's hit on it several times, but her aloe and her basil right now
looks amazing.
Man, and our strawberries do really good around this time and growing green. So we have been real pleased with that. They all look really good. But that's coming up on not tomorrow's video, but Friday's video.
Little Mountain Life, nice. I would definitely look into that. If y'all have like some type of market, that would be an awesome thing to do, and it's really easy. Michigan Mike, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I mean, for us, the market, we were taking our goal was to take microgreens to the market this year, and that was the group of microgreens that struggled and couldn't actually get it going. So by the time it was time to grow, it just didn't happen. So
making lemonade from lemons. I don't know if he said hey, but hey.
I said hey. You weren't listening.
I'm sorry. I'm listening and trying to read.
She's not the best multitasker,
I'm not.
We'll watch her a little bit. Yeah, we do too. And aloe for some reason sells really good at our market. Misty has sold a lot of aloe off one mother plant, and she's probably got another 30 out there, or
at
20,
least.
30.
And they all have babies.
Yeah, I mean, we really could split them again.
When I went in there the other day, I was like,
I've got
to get these split.
Wow, 50 trays a week. That's a monster operation. When we grow, we usually grow 4 to 5. Because again, for us, not that there's not a market for it, but I have probably 2 or 3 farm to table stores here. Other than that, I would be overkilling my micros.
Second pancake, do I juice the aloe?
I've heard of people doing that. I don't.
And some people actually do eat it. I wouldn't say juicing it, but I do strip the skin off,
right.
And I take it and I will basically smush it up.
But I've heard
and then I add lavender to it. I've added lavender to it before, and I use that like if we've been out in the sun too long or whatever. I use that basically as our aloe. But we've never ate it. If you've eaten it, tell me do you put it in something and eat it, or just juice it and drink it?
I've heard a lot of people doing aloe juicing, and I did when we used to do some singing years ago. I had a buddy who always took aloe, and he always took warm aloe to just be good for his health, I guess. I don't know really what he did it for, but
It's really good for you.
yeah.
Little Mountain Life said he's looking to make a true income job, and hey, that's awesome. That is really awesome.
Microgreens is a way to make money. I mean, it is. I mean, just to being honest with you, you can sell them, and they're not really. I mean, it's not a lot of work that you're working fields like you would a garden, so you can make money on it pretty well.
She's crazy critters place to be. Ellen said, I replanted 4 plants from my neighbors this summer and now have about 20 plants.
Yeah.
They reproduce like crazy.
But you know, crazy critters. Sorry, butchered your name.
Talk about me getting tongue tied.
I know. I'm not saying anything about you anymore. That was probably one of our best sellers at the market, and for
It
good
really
pricing.
was.
I mean, we had stages, incremental stages of like a smaller $4, $8, $12 plants. And to be honest with you, every time we took aloe over any other herb, yeah, we're gonna call you Ellen from now on. First, crazy critters.
Our kids are in there doing art.
You sure you didn't draw that?
I didn't draw that. I hardly drew that.
But aloe did really good for us, and some herbs did good. You know, at markets, the thing is, people want to do a little. People like to get a little farm to table and a little crazy, but they don't want to go too crazy. You know, so we have to really watch what we try to sell there. Like Missy does a lot of her products there, but if we try to go too much on some crazy herb or too much on some crazy idea, everybody looks at us like crazy. What are you doing? Another thing that sold good was our beeswax. Did really well.
And our soap.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
Homemade soap, and that's what most people went most crazy about was the soap.
Oh gosh, I'm not a raw oyster fan, and my wife wouldn't do it either, Deanna. So I'd have to down it. I'm not a textured eater. I really could eat just about anything, but she is overly textured eating.
Yeah, I would say you're a pretty good eater. I'm a more picky.
Hey, Wood Tree Farm, thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying our content. We are trying to have good content, and we have picked up a few. We've kind of hit a boost right after HOA, and I think some people have also done that. So we've been trying to do a little bit more updating. These last 2 videos, we've done some updating. This next video, and Misty's got a 3-minute Thursday for tomorrow, which is really cool video. But the next day, we've got another update video in the greenhouse.
Kind of hilarious, really.
Yeah. So, you know, it's one of those things where we're trying to give updates along with our normal vlog. So some of the people that haven't been watching lately can catch back up to our whole farm. So Little Mountain Life, we are super close.
We are so close.
We will give you full permission to go back and watch every one of our videos back to back to back to back, and maybe watch them twice. So.
Well, and what I was gonna mention to him a while ago, Little Mountain Life, going back to making money on the farm for us.
Thanks, United We Stand.
Our goal has really been, I would say.
Our kids are going crazy.
Okay, he doesn't want to go to sleep. Let him color. Let him color. No, let him go. Let him color. Our baby might be getting tired, but they're like playing and coloring and making stuff, and he wants to do it too. And when they won't let him do it, he gets upset. So anyway, what I was going to say about making money on the farm was, I think our goal right now has been all money generated that we bring in has been to put right back into our farm, whether it's buy something to upgrade our farm, add something to our farm, help cover costs with feed. Yeah. So that's really been a goal. I've got to go check on the baby.
Okay. Yeah. So you know, for us this year, our homestead has made money and has done well. This next year, though, we're really trying to boost it to the next level. Not just making money on the stuff that we make, but being sustainable with our meat, but also making our meat really go to farm to table stores. We have 3 or 4 restaurants that's really embraced farm to table here. So I'm anxious to talk to them and see if we can work out something with some greens, but really more the meat. And again, you know, in Mississippi, we can't sell them, you know, a pork, but we could sell them basically a hog that we're taking to slaughter and sell it to them from the butcher. So I'm hoping we can work a little bit more of that out. And when we do, I'm thinking that that's going to really help boost us too and get our our farm up and running on some other ventures, basically, other than just the kind of the farm that we're running now. We sell a lot of goods that Misty makes, like homeopathic goods and medicinal things. This time of year, elderberry syrup does really well for us, and honey, fall honey. But we're really trying to take it a little bit different way too, and try to grow it in a little bit different manner, such as the food. So let's see, we leave. That's perfect. You can leave us on autoplay anytime you want to, stepping back in time, Kentucky. I think y'all are going to be at the Stivers thing, so we hope to see y'all. You see, look, he's just emotional. Can you say hey?
You see yourself? See.
You want me to hold you? I'll hold you. So he's joining us for the rest of it.
Maybe
What?
for a little while.
You don't need that. He wants this coffee, but I don't think
Harley,
that'd be
bring
good
us
for
a
him.
cup of milk.
We might have to take him in there. So.
Look, who is that? Are you showing them how upset you are?
Let me go get us something. He's always our challenged child. He always can be challenging, but for some reason he's been a little bit more ill tonight. I think he's tired. He's been getting up early, which Misty is not like too much, but kind of around my milking time, he's been kind of getting up early. So I think he's just a little sleep. He's just done. You're exactly right, Woodtree's Farm. So anyways, back to updating. We have got our tangerines and oranges and lemons are doing good in the greenhouse. We will show a video on those. If anybody says they can't grow those kind of things in such areas like Mississippi, we've been able to grow them. Our lemons did really good last year. Both these trees have been in pots, 5-gallon buckets or a 7-gallon container. And both those are doing good. So we've got some updates coming on those. We got some updates coming out on the new seedlings we've planted for fall. We also have some updates coming on the meat chickens. We've got the meat chicken tractor ready to go. Our meat chickens were supposed to be here today, but actually the hatchery was running late on their chicks. So our meat chickens are supposed to be here next Wednesday. So that's going to be a little challenging. We're going to keep them inside in a brooder in the garage while we're going to the Stivers harvest celebration. But we're excited about getting those. What cool thing Misty was going to discuss, and I know she's hopefully coming back, but we did brood. If y'all saw, we incubated the chickens, and the chicks are doing great right now. But we also have 2 broody hens that are have hatched out 2 or 3 chicks today. So they're sitting on about another 15 eggs. I'm hoping those 15 eggs will have a good produce of chicks or their cell. So we're going to keep them separate. That was something that we just were hoping that they would do. These 2 hens have been broody really for about a year now. And to be honest with you, they are this one of ours, which is an olive egger, has hatched out about 5 or 6 so far, and she's hatched out these 2 now. But now there's another broody chicken. We're hoping that she is gonna hatch them out too. So right now we're like have like 50 or 60 chickens. So we're excited about that. Hey Stivers, how are y'all? Yeah, our main batch hatched 2 weeks ago, but like I said, our 2 broody hens are now starting to hatch out there. So Missy's nursing one back to help. She one looks kind of rough. We're not talking about the taking care of chicken thing. So we should have probably pulled them a little earlier. We were going to leave them with their mom because the mom was being a little bit more garden. And, we were trying to see if the other ones would,
accept them.
Yeah, would come
because
on. But
that's been a big thing with the chickens is when you try to mix them, it's never worked well for us.
Well, they tried to develop a pecking order, but some of these little ones can't handle getting picked on too early. So we pulled those out. Right now they're in the garage too. So
yeah, we have
like
2.
Inundated.
And when I first walked out and I saw one, I thought, she was following that baby around, and I thought, yes, she's gonna protect it. And I'll just leave them in the coop, and they're too small to get in the run, and I'll just feed them and put them in extra water in there. And then I saw it when I started moving them around. I saw another one, and it was bloody. So I thought, I gotta pull them out.
Yeah, I laughed. United We Stand said he was 8th of 9, so he had to learn to get by with no attention. I think that's our last 2 children. They've just done good to. Well, I don't know. Number 5,
He's
He
been
demands attention. So
Yes, he does.
number 3 and
He's-
4 does okay, but number 5 he demands it.
yeah, he's been a challenge.
So one more thing too, our grass is doing good on the fall. So where our sheep paddock is going to go is looking really, really good. So we actually talked to a local sheep person the other day, and we were hoping to get St. Croix, but they have Katahdin, but we're struggling to try to figure out if they're going to be able to sell us some or not. So we're still
We've
looking.
been waiting on them to call us
Yes,
back and
we
give
are
us
waiting.
a definite answer.
We are definitely looking for more of a white sheep. They have been trying to breed color in their Katahdin, so we are trying to stay with a true white sheep and lamb. So, but the paddock is ready. It's just actually find the sheep that we're wanting. There are some sheep around here, but we're trying to stay away from colored sheep. Or there was a person had some wool sheep, and some had some horn sheep the other day, some dormers. We're not really fond of those. We've heard some people saying that they can get sick pretty easy. So we're trying to look for a good heritage breed sheep for around this area. So.
Yeah. Stiver said, I don't know if it's Jen or, but said day 19. That's very unusual.
Wow, yeah, that is. That's very soon.
Now I will say, did you have it in the incubator or did y'all have it with like a broody chicken? But I will say sometimes if it's outside, the eggs are outside incubator. If they're outside and it's been really, really warm and you take them from the heat and put them into the incubator, they might have actually went ahead and started developing a few days ahead of time, which would have gotten you your 21 days.
We have to watch. We mark ours even under the broody hens because, if you accidentally get one that they've had.
You don't want to crack that open in your pan.
And we've had some of that before. So, yeah. And so Misty has done good on hatching them out. We had a good hatch rate last time. This time we didn't get as many as we thought we were hoping for percentage-wise. But, at the same time, we got enough chicken. So if we don't hatch any more right now, I think we'll be okay.
I'm hoping, though, that the ones that are hatching under Broody and her friend, because there's 2 out there. So I've just been calling them Broody and her friend.
That's their names, Broody and her friend.
So I'm hoping that I can take those and mix them because they're only about 2.5, 3 weeks different. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to combine those, but I might not be able to. I think they're going to be eventually to the same size, and it shouldn't matter. I mean, they're still going to develop a pecking order, and that's okay. But when they start ripping flesh like meat hanging and they're bleeding everywhere, like I just cannot do that. It's just too much for me. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I just told Aiden yesterday, I said, when you go out and take care of the feed and all, make sure you check. And so sure enough, one had hatched today. But there's 10 or 15 more out there. I mean, she had a ton under her. So
that was not the plan, but our egg manager sometimes wasn't looking as good as he was supposed to. So they accommodated a few more eggs as time permitted. So we had to leave them because we sure didn't want to risk that.
And I sure didn't want to crack a half-developed chicken in my frying pan. So
thanks for coming on, Ellen.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and so for instance, I think the crazy thing that we're still dealing with, we've got basically Cornish cross coming. But like Misty was talking about the other day,
they're supposed to be here next week.
The thing that we're still trying to contemplate, and I know we've had this discussion before, but we're really trying to figure out: are we going to stay with doing true meat chickens like Cornish cross, or are we going to try to do heritage birds and something kind of like a dual purpose bird, such as like the Delawares or the black Jersey Giants? Now we raise Jersey Giants, but because ours are not purebred Jersey Giants. Because we don't have a Jersey Giant rooster. I don't think, we don't have a Jersey Giant rooster. Most of ours are Americana Easter egg or an olive egg rooster. So, because they're a thinner bird, I'm scared that those Jersey Giants are not going to put on weight like they probably would and be a good double-breasted, full out chicken. So we're still contemplating that, figuring out if we're going to stay with doing Cornish cross. These first ones that we're going to take, of course, is what we're used to. But my wife doesn't like dark meat. So, heritage breed chickens tend to be a little bit darker meat all over versus your true, like Cornish cross or something you buy at the grocery store. So I'm just debating. I just don't know. You know, we've
We
tried
are
sustainability, so
super
we're struggling with
excited
that.
about that. So the aldermans, of course, they're our other local farmstead and friends that live here. And actually at HOA, we were discussing going ahead and getting our meat birds. Because I had really been iffy up in the air. I told Colby, I was like, I don't know if you're going to have any help. So we watched Joel Salatin butcher one, I said, okay, we're going to go ahead and do this.
Hey,
and
Karen.
Then right after we talked about
North
that,
Star.
Miss Patty come up to us and she was like, I'm ordering some next week. And I was like, yay, put us down. So they're already ordered. They were actually supposed to be here today, shipping wise, but for whatever reason, I guess the company is behind and they're going to be here next week. So I'm going to have everything set up for our farm sitter.
Which that means we're actually like having like Christmas meat chickens.
Yeah.
So we're like butchering chickens on. Christmas. You know what I might do? I might just have one big Christmas fellowship here and everybody butchers chickens. We'll say we're eating chicken, but we'll actually just be butchering.
Hey, we were taught don't butcher it and eat the same day.
I know, but we're going to act like they are.
Miss Patty actually said, make sure it's a few days.
Yeah.
Because what happens for those of you that don't know, and if you haven't watched our Joel Salatin video, go back and do that. But anyway, it's
right,
told that even when they bleed out and you go through the process and all that, they still go through rigors. So the meat gets really tensed and tight. And even though you've processed on that day, you don't want to eat on that same day.
Hey, two family.
And Mr. Joel said, or I call him Mr. Joel. Does anybody else call him that? I do. I mean, he's old enough to be my dad. So anyway, so he said the next day, but Miss Patty, which has also done this for a really long time, said wait 3 or 4 days. So your plan would be.
I'm going to still make them come, though.
I don't think that they would be excited about that. Hey, North Star Prep Stetter.
Hey, our Kevin,
and two family. Hello.
Our Kevin in the Woods. You're doing broad-breasted. Do you do any other kind of turkeys? We're trying to get I think we're going to get the Royal Palms, which are a smaller breed turkey, which I think will fit better for us. I've butchered chickens. I've butchered turkeys before, but it's been more as a hunting. So we would take certain parts and not really try to keep the whole turkey intact. If you get what I'm saying. But someone said that if you get broad-breasted and you're not used to setting up for a broad-breasted, they're so much bigger than chicken that like the kill cone and things like that may not work as well. So are you doing any smaller turkeys too, or are you just doing simply the broad-breasted?
Yay, staffers are getting their meat chickens too.
Are they really?
Yeah, she said, Misty, we got this, LOL. Oh, I don't know. I'm really nervous. I cannot kill the chicken. I've already told Colby that. I'm going to try to help, but
she's doing it. Oh, yeah.
I can't.
She's doing it.
No, I'm not killing the chicken.
Hey, I know
help.
A great thing that goes along with talking about sustainability and prepping, and like I told you about trying to do more natural foraging. Deer lately have been just crazy around here. Me and Misty.
We need deer meat.
Yeah, last year we didn't have any, so this year we're dropping several. But what was so cool is usually around this time of year, bow season for us, we don't see a lot of deer because it's so warm, but it's been cool. So the other day, Misty was riding the Ranger down by the plot in the paddock of the cows and saw some deer. So I said, well, maybe that was just the luck of the draw. Well, the next day, I went back and I was actually checking on the turnips and how they're growing down there in the winter peas. Man, there was 4 down there. Then the next day, me and Misty went running. If you saw that video, at the end of the video, we've been running a lot. And when we were running right next to the woods, there was probably 5 or 6 there. So It is saying deer season is upon us. Actually, me and my bow may go hunting this weekend.
I need BW's. I cannot remember their daughter's name. Her just totally left me. She does shirts. Yeah. But her name just totally left me. Anyway, I like this saying.
I did see that they did butcher their turkeys, make lemonade from lemons.
Karen says, you can gut it, girl. I like that saying.
Emily's her name.
Emily, that's right. I like that saying, you can gut it, girl. We need to get some farm shirts that say that.
Eli,
you can gut it, girl.
Eli, we've tried to talk people into coming and bartering some chickens. But around here, it's like you better do more than just barter a few chickens. They want more than just chickens. They want something else to go with it. Now, that's been the hardest thing is to find people who are willing to assist. Because we were going to try to, hey, Walterman Homestead, we were trying to take a bigger investment in the meat chickens and try to do a bigger operation. But it's hard for us to find people to help us. And for me, it's almost impossible for me to spend a whole day butchering chicken. So we had to bite off a little bit, and hopefully I can get a few more people.
How many did y'all get, Stivers? We ordered 25. But the good thing is when we went in with the Aldermans, they ordered 25. So it put us over that 50 mark. So, of course, it decreased the price tremendously.
Karen said, you make the shirt and I will buy it for sure. Then the 2 shirts going out. Now we talked to Flip Flop Barnyard the other day. Misty's got 2 shirts going out. One's going to say Montherish. And the other one's going to say, what's the other one? What was the other one going to say?
T90.
T90. If you go back and watch our videos, my wife makes up words. And so those are 2 shirts that are coming out. Montherish. And it's going to actually have a few question marks on it because nobody understood what she was even saying right there. And the next one's going to say T90. So, but that's the 2 shirts coming out first.
I like T90 better.
T90.
Okay, so I was making a video and I don't like to talk to myself. So I was just talking and I was trying to say
conversating. That's another good one. Miss Paula Joe though, but somebody like commented me and was like, you are wrong. Conversating is a real word. Like they let me have it. And I was thinking, okay, we're gonna drop that conversating word and just go with T90. So
but anyway, I don't like really talking to myself. It makes me feel a little weird. So I was recording by myself. The baby was asleep. The kids are outside. I think the kids are outside, but I was by myself and I was just talking away and I was trying to say a month or so and a montherish come out and I didn't know what to do. So I just kept on talking.
I didn't edit it out either. I left that bad boy in there. No, Miss Paula Joe, I know you told me that it was a real word, but somebody like scolded me after that live. So they actually commented way later about it. So we had fun with that word. So no more conversating as the extra word of the week. So
we had a spill in there, crayons, and we don't want him
to
eat
let
them.
him clean them. He can help you clean them up.
Yes, I've got scolded. Actually, I had another video the other day. Are you in a better mood now?
You feel better? You got some milk, Mama?
You're not in a better meal?
What you see? Huh? What does the cow say? Where's the moo cow? Where's the moo cow? I took him out today. When we were out around the garden. If y'all have watched any of our videos, you know our garden is back behind that. And they were apparently pretty hungry. And our Beauty, if y'all know Beauty, she can move so loud. So we had walked up to the edge of the fence and I was just letting him look at the cows and stuff. And she moved really, really loud and he went into pure panic, was latched on to me and crying. And it was so funny. But he loves the moo cows. He loves to go out there. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on the comments. Our cabin in the woods, I did 28 meat birds. That took all day for me. I figure it's going to take us a while. I think the beauty of it is going to be, Miss Patty did tell us that we could come over and help them. And thank you, Our Cabin in the Woods. And help them in exchange for being able to be hands-on and learn. That will be a great experience for us. And our birds are all going to be here at the same time. So hopefully if we can go to them one weekend and do ours the next weekend, I'm hoping that being able to get hands-on will not take us as long because we've already done it. So I'm hoping that that's going to help. Part-time Permies, hey, and congratulations on your baby. She's adorable. All of my friends, there's so many people having babies right now. I'm like, y'all, I really don't need baby fever right now.
No baby fever.
I knew that was coming. Because I have my hands so full with Jennings right now. But anyway, congratulations. She's beautiful. There is absolutely nothing in this world like becoming a parent and holding that baby, that sweet baby. They're precious. So congratulations.
No baby fever here.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna skin them, peel the skin off like a sweater. I don't think we're gonna do that. Does the Aldermans do that? I know we've discussed it with
we're gonna use
them.
their plucker, so we're gonna just do plucking on them.
Yeah,
They
she
have a
did
plucker.
offer. They do have a plucker. It's a pretty nice plucker, and
Man,
and
see
she did offer to let us.
did you say hey to everybody? Having the homestead.
Let's see, Donald
Golf.
I did not.
Hey Donald. Hey, having the homestead.
Having the homestead just
Hey,
popped
part-time
on.
Hermes.
Yeah, I know. I was just telling them
I know.
congratulations.
Well, congratulations. I'm glad you're having a child and we're not. So
as soon as I said that, I looked back and that's when you yelled. I was like, I knew that was coming.
Hey, Paul and Adrian.
Let's see, off grid.
Yes, right. Now we love our
Hey
children,
there.
but I think we're happy with our 5. So.
Well, the Aldermans are actually kind of our neighbors. They're not technically our neighbors, like their house is beside ours, but they are really just down the road. They're like 5 minutes down the road. And Miss Patty, I would say, has been my mentor for the past several years.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the one I've always went to and said, how did you do this, or how did you do that, or what do you think about this, or what do you think about that? Because we live in the same climate, the same area. She has done just about everything too. So it's really been a blessing for us to be able to, no babies, just practice.
That sounds good, Karen. Paul and Adrian, thank you so much. I don't know off the ranch. I'll have to watch that one. I'm not sure about those. Yeah, Patty is a great resource, by the way.
She is, and it's awesome to have that mentor there, because a lot of things. Well, I mean, they don't milk, and there's a few things that they do different. They do milk goats, in periods of time and seasons.
Well, and see, there's things that we've bounced ideas off of, because like we have a little bit bigger bee operation, and they do goats, we do cows. So there's things that we can help each other with. So it really does well.
Our cabin in the woods said they have 5, but they're all out of the house. We have 5 under 11 and under, if that makes sense. So we still have some time.
Hey, I don't want to rush it, because I love our kids being small. It's been fun for us. And Aiden's, he's like our farm man right now. He's been help. Actually, when he gets older, I have to actually pay him.
Yeah, well, we're giving him an allowance now
that
for
was
the
a
things
joke.
that he does.
A joke. He does get paid. Anyways, on the, I don't know if y'all saw, we planted, or no, it's coming out on the next video. We planted some wheat.
I agree there too, family.
We're trying some different things. Wheat's a good cover crop for our area. Actually, it's the same wheatgrass that we can run in microgreen trays, but it's a wheat that we're going to basically use as basically hopefully for us, but really more as a cover crop, and also for our deer and our cows. We're starting 2 new paddocks in that area. That's actually where our pumpkins are, and we're going to try to do like a little strawberry market garden next year. So I think it's going to be, I don't know, we're going to just try it out. We've never tried wheat, and wheat is not something that grows well here. We're not trying to grow make our own wheat to have bread, or flour, but it's really more, can it help us be more sustainable in the cooler climate times like right now? It tends to grow like ryegrass, and it may give another option for pigs and chickens, but also attract deer, but then our cows too. So
off grid,
we'll try that too.
Thank you. I wouldn't say that it was a big farm. It's not extremely small, but it's not like super big either.
Not at all.
But it takes time to manage, because Colby works a full-time job, and then we manage everything after hours.
But let me give one. I think the biggest thing with a farm or homestead or whatever you're doing, one thing that's helped us is we've developed, and I'm seeing this now, because basically we have our homestead, we have our farm and our homestead that we have managed to make where I don't need a tractor. I have a tractor. I can utilize it, but I can do everything by hand that's on our farm. I'm walking distance on our, it's like I said, it's a little over 30 acres, but really the main homestead is really about 7 to 10 acres, and I can walk every bit of it, and there's purpose for it. However, my family has if y'all have seen my other bee apiary and you've seen my other beef cows, that farm is really big. So we're trying to learn to utilize equipment out there because it's a big span of land on hills. So to me, I think as a homestead, when we talk about homesteading and sustainability, the bigger you get, the more you have to rely on something else. You're going to rely on either more sprays or you're going to rely on more equipment or tools. I think there comes a point as a homesteader, if you're saying I want sustainability, and if it's making money or if it's just feeding your family, I think it comes to the point where you're saying I don't want to grow so much to where I can't control it, because we're to a point now where we can control everything on our homestead. But I mean, it is a full-time job to even do that, and I will work a good 10 to 20 hours a week easily for maintenance on our homestead farm, and then we'll easily put in another 5 to 10 hours a week on spring and fall on those transitional seasons too. So I'd be careful trying to grow your farm too much. Actually, I probably could do the same amount of what I'm doing in probably less acreage and tighter and make it more of a true permaculture in your zones. So
And let's see, our cabin in the woods said coffee and rocking chairs for us now. That's
shoot, it's coffee and rocking chairs for me right now too. So I can do
they
that
mean
too.
because our
I
kids
know.
are grown and gone.
I know.
Well, it's kind of the same, and Colby drinks coffee. I don't, but that's a little fun fact. But all of our kids really like to rock, except for the challenging one. The baby, he doesn't like to rock. He doesn't want a passy. He doesn't want a blanket. He doesn't like to rock. Go figure. But all of our other ones really did like to rock.
Karen, my dad and I own a family business here in our town, and on top of us having a farm, when you own a business too, I work a lot of hours. I really do.
It's a 24-hour business. So
and our farm is about sustainability. However, in my nature, because I've been raised around business, our goal is to always grow our farm in a way that makes sense for sustainability and also for entrepreneurship. So we always look for ways that we can benefit our farm and take care of our farm. So,
all right, off-grid desert farming with Paul and
Adrian.
Mm-hmm. They're going live tomorrow. I think I saw at 5 p.m. West Coast. So y'all be sure to hop in and watch them as well.
Yeah, we will definitely. We're going to try to get on there too. That'd be awesome. 5 p.m. West. So that would put us, what, 7? Yes, 7 Central here. Because we're 2 hours ahead of y'all. Okay, man, we're gonna try to hit that up.
Doing YouTube really is like a job too.
Paul and Adrian, we have 2 apple trees that my wife smoked this year.
Thought I was giving them one thing and it was something else.
She smoked them.
And I put triple 13, like a lot of triple 13.
She was supposed to use a lime or organic.
They said smoke. He means killed them.
I
killed them.
Murderized them. No, on the fruit trees, we have peach trees, we have fig trees, we have the apple trees are no longer with us. We have a pear tree. Our plum tree was the bomb this year. It did great.
Yeah, it did.
And then we have
the 2 right by the back door, crab
apples, which are great because we're going to try some crab apple jelly, but really they are our venison attractor. So that's our fruit tree that provides venison. And then we have tons of blueberries. We actually have some blueberries that look like trees, and they put off well too. So
part-time permies, the good thing about newborn right now is typically babies in the newborn stage will just sleep. I hope she's sleeping good for you.
Our kids never sleep.
Never
sleep.
In the first 2 weeks.
I remember leaving the hospital and there was a baby next door crying, screaming. And I was thinking, man, I'm glad that's not my baby. And then all of a sudden we came home and it turned into
for the first 2 weeks he did okay. But then after that
he got crazy.
Yeah. I've had them that cluster feed, especially if you're nursing. But it's only a season. But in the newborn stage, to me, really, those first 2 weeks, I would say that Jennings slept a lot of the day and a lot of the afternoon, up and down through the night eating, but that's just part of it.
Our cabin in the woods, we actually, I was fully against lies at first, and the more we do, the more we enjoy them. I actually look forward to them. So
we really like to come on and be able to talk and to communicate because
Southeastern
there's only so
Colorado.
much you can do on a comment.
Piper Homestead, how cold is it, southeastern Colorado? And Paul and Adrian, for fruit trees, that's kind of like us. We've really tried to grow an orchard, and it has done well. We planted right next to our bees, so our bees have helped us a good bit there. But
Hey, Steph T5.
our goal is to hopefully grow our orchard for years and years to come. We're kind of where we were talking about on that back side of our property. When you talk about permaculture, I have our orchard in zone 2, and I know that's if you know permaculture, you have zones. Our permaculture is probably in zone 2, and it needs to be in zone 5. So we're going to probably move some of our trees, our true permaculture, our true orchard trees, try to get those over in zone 5, and just leave our blueberries in zone 2. So.
Wow, our bees here have almost disappeared.
Oh gosh,
that is terrible.
That's not good.
We love our bees.
Without
I had
bees,
to talk
you won't
him
have
into
anything.
getting bees. But we love our bees. They love to sting him. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. The staffers are going to hear me. I'm still trying to talk them into getting bees. And I watched
They like me. They sting
your
me.
video talking about getting sugar. See, you won't have to buy sugar if you get bees. I commented on y'all's video and said you got to get bees so you can have honey.
You should see our honey now, our spring honey. We don't do any artificial sweetener or artificial feeding to our bees. I know a lot of people.
Having the homestead agrees.
I know a lot of people feed their bees, and again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't or should or anything like that. We leave a lot of our honey for our bees. Our honey is so full of glucose, which is in a more natural way of getting their honey, that we almost have 2 honeys that are like spooning out. It's almost like true
almost like granulated sugar.
I mean, it's amazing. So it's a great cooking tool for that. You have to really know honey or want honey to not have the liquid gold, and don't get me wrong, we love that, but we've gotten to where we really like to see a heavy crystallization, because again, that's allowing us to cook easier with it. It's more of a 1-to-1 ratio, true 1-to-1 ratio.
I'll eat it off the spoon anyway.
Yeah, Misty will.
That's the reason why I really wanted bees, is because I have a really, really bad sweet tooth. And I do like to go in there and just get spoonfuls and just eat it.
The Highland Homestead, that's awesome. We try not to feed ours at all. We try not to even treat ours at all either. We treated them one time when we first got them, because we didn't know any better. But to be honest with you, I haven't treated since. So
let's see. There was our apple trees was loaded, but only got 4 only 4 got pollinated. So they were thinking about getting some bees. I highly recommend it.
I think they are a huge asset.
And they're not the only time that we've ever seen them majorly aggressive. Like if you're just out walking around, like they love our saltwater pool. And we can swim with them, and they don't bother us at all.
They're not going to bother you if they're away, because most of them that's away they're collecting. They're doing a job.
The only time they'll get aggressive is like obviously if you go into their hive, obviously they're going to get aggressive. Want them.
You need to have repetition like any other livestock.
So smoking is a great thing when you go in and smoke them. That lets them know that you're there. And then the only other time that they've really gotten aggressive, it was like Colby's out there and he's weed eating beside them. Of course, they obviously don't like that. But other than that, I would say if you're just out walking around and they're on a flower beside you or whatever, they're not going to be like a red wasp and just attack you. Like we got a red wasp in our house the other day, and they popped Colby in his head, but he's got such thick hair.
It popped me on my hand too, and my hand was like double the size.
He brushed his head with his hand, and then it got his finger. So I would consider those more of your aggressive. Our honeybees are not like that at all.
We have one hive that I would consider.
I know we're missing some comments.
I have one hive that I would consider maybe a little aggressive, but that's also my best honey producer. So I wouldn't say I wouldn't want bees to be a little aggressive, because like I said, my most aggressive is my best honey provider.
Yeah, and Steph T5 said they're getting bees next spring.
Whoop, whoop.
Awesome. Look, I would say read as much as you can, learn about them as much as you can. Before you get them, know as much as you can, so that when you get into them and you're looking through them, you just know what you're looking for. You know what you're looking at, which I'm sure you'll.
And I'll be honest with you,
I'm super excited for you. These are awesome.
I'm not crazy. I'm not a bee connoisseur by any means, but there's a guy that I help now, and I help him. He'll call me and ask me questions, or I'll help him. I helped him sling honey this year. So even though I'm not as knowledgeable as my mentor, this guy looks at me and says, "Hey, what can I learn from you?" So bees are something that to me it's almost like something that's a dying breed. You don't have a lot of beekeepers, especially in my area. I mean, at all. You're starting to see a few more pop up, but if we don't control our bees, we won't have any pollinators. And man,
no pollinators means
no food.
decrease in food.
That's right.
So, Second Pancake said, "Man, if I had bees, I would eat so much honey too." Look, we really, really enjoy it.
We do.
I eat like with biscuits this morning with biscuits.
That's spring honey right there.
Yeah.
We still have to. That's why I'm not sure if we're gonna pull fall honey. We may just let our bees have it. But I mean, we still got probably what 2.5 gallons right there.
No, that's full. I haven't pulled anything.
So we still got another 5 gallons plus what's in containers, and we're making elderberry syrup to sell and to use, and then we're of course having our honey for Misty. I mean, that's all we use in cooking. We don't really use too much sugar. If we're using sugar,
no.
We use a cane sugar, and that's only if we're cooking for certain people or something. If someone's not used to honey taste. But pretty much we're using, I'd say 85 to 90% of all our sugar or sweetener is our honey. And we still have, like I said, that full. But we're, like I said, that we're supposed to pull fall honey this week, but I don't know. I might not pull it. I might just simply leave it. Misty and I usually go in together, and that's kind of my favorite time is to go and pull it. But, geez, I just don't know if I want to pull it. I might just let them have a lot more to utilize this year. And the wax, for bees, the wax, the byproduct is huge for us too. We sell a lot of honey that's still in the comb, and that's a big seller here. And then, of course, if you chew the wax, or you're using the pollen out of the wax, or you're using any of that, all that's good byproducts and very good for your health. So we leave a lot of that in our honey. Yeah, I agree with you, part-time Hermes. We don't want to overload it too. Having the homestead, we have collected the propolis, saying that we were going to utilize it and sell it. I've not gotten there yet to say I'm just going to go ahead and use the propolis. I had a guy one time say he'd buy it from me, and we've harvested some off, but pretty much usually we harvest it and kind of mix it in with our wax, melt it down, and get the byproducts off of it and get the benefits of propolis. But I know a lot of people chew propolis, and propolis, if y'all don't know, propolis is kind of like the glue that holds the hives together, and it's really good for men and prostates. It's really good health benefits. I mean, it's a really great byproduct along with the other parts of the bee houses. But we don't use the propolis. We leave a lot of it there, or we'll melt it down with the wax and utilize what it is and get the rest back to the bees.
Yeah. So when Steph T5, when you get your bees and you get ready to start getting the top off, the top just doesn't lift off. You have to use a tool and actually pop it open, and that sticky stuff that's around the outside is the propolis, and it's really cool. But that's like their protective mechanism, so something just can't come into their hive.
And see, my aggressive hive, like we were talking about, they that propolis on their hives. I mean, it actually, I bent. I can actually break my wood or bend my hive tool on that hive because their propolis is so thick. I mean, it is like true glue.
Do you reuse did the bees reuse the propolis if you leave it?
I don't know. I think that we never waste. So our goal is if it comes off or cuts off, we'll put it in with our
family. Have a good week.
Yeah, to family. Thank you. We either cut it off and put it in with our wax. We try not to hurt it because, again, we know that they can just turn around and it could. I mean, once you put it back on top and it heats back up, it's going to become a glue again. So we try not to hurt it unless it just kind of comes off with the box.
Are they African
hey, Mama
bees? They are not African
no,
bees.
Our bees, no.
They're Italian.
Yeah, most of our Italian. I think I have one Russian set, and I think that's my aggressive one, just because they're a totally different bee than my Italian. But all mine are mostly Italian bees, or what you call mutt bees, probably a mix, because some of them were split, some of them were caught. So,
Mama Bear, thank you for stopping in.
Yeah,
we're on bee subject. We love bees. So that I don't even know how that got brought up, but
We're all over the place.
We have been
We're all over the place
tonight.
We had a plan, and that plan is like, floop, throw it out. Let's see. Yeah, you're gonna have to watch the bee videos. You know what's so funny? I can make bee videos all day, but just because everybody's not interested in bees, it tends to not. We talked to VW about that too. It seems like our bee videos are not going to be nearly as strong as some of the other stuff. Yeah, Man Lake, to me, I have my local mentor builds a lot of the bee stuff, and I really personally love buying from him because again, it's one of those things that when you buy from your mentor, he and he comes over a lot. It helps us kind of
Learn,
talk more.
He can always teach us something.
Yeah. Hey, Farmstead Talk. How are you? But one cool thing is Man Lake, if you're needing something quick, like there's been times where I've done a split and I'm like, oh man, I don't have enough boxes and I don't have time to build them myself. I'm working. Man Lake is a go-to place. If anybody's looking for a place to buy bee supplies and at a good price and decent, good stuff, Man Lake's where it's at.
Single man said, I breed mason bees.
Yes. We've talked about making a little mason bee. There's a little spot on our land over there close to our pumpkin patch, and we talked about putting some mason bees out. Actually, we saw when we went to Joe Salatin's, he had a little mason bee holder, and actually, I've been talking to Ben at VW Family Farm about a mason bee, so we might look into that and ask some question for you, Eli, because like I said, we've never raised mason bees.
Off-grid Desert Farming said they have a lot of African bees down in the Phoenix area that are attacking people.
Yeah, I've heard that African bees are very intense.
Very, very, very aggressive. We have heard that. Ours are not. Not that we're aware of. I'm pretty sure that ours are mostly Italian, and they're very. They come swim with us.
Yeah.
Bees,
though, it's all about respect. I didn't respect them one time. I went in real quick instead of smoking them like I could, and they lit me up.
And I was just going to address that comment. Mama Bear Preparedness said, bees intimidate me. I love and appreciate them, but I am mildly terrified. I will say that our first few times going in, I was a little nervous, but there's a form of protection that you get being in your bee suit. Now, we have watched some people that go out and don't wear any gear. We smoke ours. That gives them tells them that, hey, we're here, and we have our bee suit on. So I don't really, because they can't bite you through the bee suit. So they don't really bother me. Now, there are times that somebody has left their zipper a little unzipped.
Thank you, Second Pancake. Have a good night.
And it has gotten up
She's not talking about me.
Britch's leg before because you didn't have your full suit on. So
I'm allergic to them, so they can't be intimidating.
I saw a comment. Somebody said 1 sting equals EpiPen, 2 stings equals ER. Yeah, you would definitely not need bees in that situation. But
I love bees, but like I said, I have to double glove now because I get stung so much, and the more I get stung, the more I don't know if I get more susceptible to it, but I swell more now. Like just like that wasp sting the other day. I never any kind of insect that bit me, it never was a big deal. But now it's like my whole hand, it looked like double the size. It was like double the size.
Thank you, Miss Apology.
Kevin, I love our bees.
Stop that yawning. He gets up like extremely early in the mornings, and then he's usually up really late at night. So
that's that entrepreneurial spirit that we were talking about. To me, when I know people say you're supposed to sleep like how many hours? 6 to 8 hours.
6 to 8, maybe for you.
I usually get 5 to
10 is normal.
5 to 6 hours is good for me.
I sleep 8 to 10. I try to sleep 8 to 10.
I don't have time to waste on sleep. I know that's funny, but that's true. I really have too much going on, so I'd rather not sleep that much. But I do yawn, and I live off coffee. I probably shouldn't, but I do.
Did y'all see his mug? He got this. Well, I got this for his birthday for him. I don't know if you can see the words though.
You can a little bit, Polyface.
So we went to Polyface Farms. It was his birthday that day. So I saw that mug.
Thanks,
and I was
Having Homestead.
I really want to get him that coffee cup for him to drink his coffee in because he drinks coffee about as much as most people drink water.
No.
Yes, he does.
Steph T5, I do. We keep Benadryl very handy on bee days.
Yep.
Actually, most of the time one or two Benadryl does nothing for the swelling or anything. I have to take like several. So
Yeah, fire ants can get you too. If you get in them, they're gonna find a way to get you.
thank you, Farmstead Talk.
Wow, that's not. Let's see. Part-time Permy said has a friend that's kept bees for years and just developed a horrible allergy to them.
The only thing I can tell you to try to get away from the allergy is eat what they're putting in the hive. Chew on their wax and let the pollen that's naturally in
Let
there.
your body adjust.
It needs to adjust to that. So what a lot of times, and again, I'm not speaking from experience, but what we've always heard that if you're struggling with the allergy with a bee or with a certain pollen, or if you have an allergy for certain things, most of the time take that time and cut your wax off. Chew on that wax that has a lot of that pollen in it, all those natural things that the bees have, along with the honey.
Thank you, Off-Grid Desert
And it can
Farming.
be very, very good for you, and it will help you build a better immunity to those allergies. So
Yeah, we have fire ants pretty bad here too.
you know when the Pratts come down, they don't have fire ants in Michigan.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Part-time Permies. I don't know if y'all have fire ants, but the Pratts were laughing. They're like, we don't even know what a fire ant is. We don't have fire ants there. Yeah,
none in Michigan.
They laugh because we have like fire ants. I mean,
like
here,
if you walk out and you see this big hill of dirt,
I mean, that's everywhere.
It's
that's
an ant bed. Yeah. We call them ant beds.
They're just normal around here. So he was blown away. He was like, what is that? We don't have fire ants.
So funny.
Yeah, I heard they were bad in Texas. So
yeah, they're pretty bad here too.
They are. They move a lot when it rains. So, dang, we've been on for an hour and 12 minutes.
We have. We need to get kiddos to bed.
All right. Well, we are going to call it a night. We didn't realize how far. Do we have mosquitoes, Karen?
Man, mosquitoes are so big here.
They're like this
We can
big.
ride them.
I know. I'm telling you, man. Our mosquitoes, literally, they're like this pumpkin size. It's crazy.
I think that's what several people are talking about, developing allergies. I think that's what happened to him, because the first several times that he was stung, he didn't have any problems, but then he slowly started swelling with them. But we've never had any breathing issue. We've never had any, not any major. I think your esophagus was related to something else. Was stung 3 times on the hand by a wasp and went into anaphylaxis. Yeah, that's not.
If
good.
If I get stung in a general area,
that area will swell.
Especially if I get stung, like when Harley. I don't know if y'all watched that video, but when Harley got stung a lot, when she came over there one day and just got in the bees when she wasn't supposed to. When I got them off her, they stung me more than they stung her. But my hands and I can't remember, it was my neck or hands.
Hands, feet, head swell the most. Colby always gets it on his hand. That he did get popped one time right on the front of his leg, right under his knee, and that one was a pretty bad.
It gave me what's it called?
Cellulitis.
Yeah, it gave me cellulitis bad. It was like to a point where
it was solid red. It was so swollen.
We're saying all this like we hate bees. I mean, bees are a good thing. Don't let us scare you.
Bees are a good thing.
Everything we've said is like, it's gonna put you in the hospital.
No, it didn't put you in the hospital. He just, he did have to take Benadryl, and it did take several days for it to go down. But and you had to have antibiotic that time.
I did. I let it go too far. I couldn't bend my wrist. It got to a point where I guess cellulitis or whatever was building my wrist, and my wife was like, "That is not normal. You've got to do something about that." I couldn't bend my wrist. It was just like, it couldn't bend.
But on the flip side of that, you have learned not to wear those cheap flimsy gloves anymore. He double gloves.
Don't be a cheapskate on your uniform.
Yeah,
your bee suit.
So the first set he bought was like extremely, extremely thin, and so now he double gloves. He puts 2 of those sets on, and then mine are pretty thick. I mean, they're all pretty thick, so I don't have to worry about that. But mosquitoes are bad, 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 bad. Yes. They will carry you away. Yes, they will.
We live in a swampy area too, so it kind of gets a little worse in this area. So
yeah, they're surrounded by fresh water. That's right. That's where they thrive at. Water. That's where they lay their eggs. Mosquitoes. carry so much nasty disease too. Yeah, they're not good. We, in the early fall, late summer, we have to really almost avoid going out around dark because we will get eaten by mosquitoes if you're not prepared with some type of spray. So, all right.
I think we're gonna cut it off. We actually went another 3 minutes, so I'm sorry about that. Thank y'all again for coming on. We love lives and love talking. I always can't look at the chat, because if I start looking at the chat, I'll start talking again, and then she starts talking again, then I can't stop talking. So no, but thank y'all so much for coming on. Like I said, I love our lives. I look forward to them every Wednesday night. It's actually kind of a fun thing to do. This is the only day we don't really put out a big video because we just get excited about live. So thank y'all so much for coming on. We will see some of y'all in, we'll have one more live right before we leave going up to the Stivers, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll do a live next Wednesday, and then we'll be heading to Kentucky the following day. So we're excited about all the things happening on our farm. If you have any questions about our homestead or farm or the size of it, what we do with some of the unconventional things, we have a 3-Minute Thursday coming out tomorrow, which is unconventional ways to farm grows without being conventional on the farm. So if you have any questions about any of our videos, shoot us comments. We try to answer them really quick, and we thank y'all for being so involved in our lives. We really like it. So happy homesteading, y'all.